Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Eve, again here, playing Ethereum Restart. In today's video, I'm gonna show you the build that I did for Tiamat, as well as the team that I'm using to finish up Inferno with Tiamat as my main damage dealer. So I'm not gonna show you the full gameplay because it does take a while, because Tiamat is definitely not the most OP one-shot machine out there, or nothing compared to someone like Rosa, who can definitely finish it up much quicker. But this is something that I did. I was trying to build the Tiamat so that she could definitely take on Inferno and Doki, and she finally managed to do it. Again, it's not very consistent. For the most part, it's not the most consistent that you will see her be, but it does do the job. Again, you will need to be a little bit more, not of an auto, but definitely more of an manual type of game here, because again, she is not the the Tiamat that can for sure like one shot the whole thing in one turn. So I'm gonna show you the first bit of how it goes, and why do you sometimes need to do this manually. Because again, Tiamat is the stupid thing about her is that they do require you to basically use her third ability first, so it's her ultimate, when she does the taunt AoE attack, and you don't want to do that with Tiamat because it's useless. But what you want to do with Tiamat is just buff her, like Lily buffs her. First turn, you use the shield first. So that's the good stuff about her, that she could use the shields in the early one, and because of that I really like her. Then what you want to do is just debuff them with claws. You do the debuffs with the stuns on her as well. Then you do the attack. And obviously this is where the fun part starts, where the Tiamat is gonna start doing some damage. And the thing is, on auto she always uses her third skill first, and because of that you can get a little bit of damage into you really early, and you don't really want to have that happen. So because of that, I do recommend using it a little bit on manually, just so you don't get that thing on you. Okay, now she is transformed. Again, this does require a little bit of a time compared to other characters, because again, Tiamat needs to be built up, as well as her transformation is where she does the damage for the most part. And you do need to have decent investments in Lily and other units for this, but she does make the job. She does finish all of the content. Also, you need to be careful with them not stunning her as well. Sometimes they do stun, but that's why we have the Linglo here, just for the sake of getting rid of those stuns sometimes. Okay, basically this is how it's gonna go. I'm not gonna show the whole thing because again, it does require a lot of the time with Tiamat. You can definitely make her stronger if you go the full build on DPS on her. That's gonna make it much better. But I did go with the Swift Rush still, because I think having her much faster, so that she could proc much faster, because of the bullshit that she does with her third skill activating first, then is gonna be her shield. Because of that, I do think the speed works better than having the full DPS build on her. So what do I use on Tiamat? Essentially, for the survivability, I've put the Ember on her, just for the sake of restoring the HP, as well as because she's pretty fast as well. That iced effect comes off much quicker. So because of that, it doesn't have the worst case scenario when she's stunned for too long. She's basically defreezed for too long. So because of that, I do use that. I unfortunately didn't roll the red crits on her. That would be really nice because I do want to have as much crits as possible, as well as later on buff the crit rate or crit damage on her as well. Didn't get the anything good other than the attack amplification, but it doesn't matter, to be honest. You want to have HP. If you can get the red HP, that would be much more nicer. On the last one, it would be definitely good if you can get the boost for the blue ones. Or just the end game damage also, not the worst. In terms of what I used in terms of the pieces, I have a full-on Swift Rush. I have the first buff on the Wellspring, and I have a buff for the Bloodbath, just for the sake of some resistance, as she gets a little bit from that. If you can get more resistance, that would be definitely nice, so that she doesn't get stunned again. On the second phase, they do put you to sleep sometimes, but I have Linglow for that, for the sake of that. But if you have a decent resistance, you don't even need a Linglow. You can put someone like Doki there for the sake of, again, boosting the speed as well as the KD reductions on these two characters. That would be also really nice. On the Kha'Zix standard build with Gigabyte, you just use speed here. Whatever you can use here for the survivability will be good enough. You only need her the third ability to be maxed out. You don't need anything else. You can also put a little bit into the passive just for the sake of the turn meter. Other than that, it doesn't matter anything. Again, you want to have her as fast as possible, but it doesn't need to be too crazy, because again, if you're using Lily here, Lily already buffs for the pretty decent amount of speed, and you don't need to be her to be too fast. But again, you do need to have effect accuracy with the speed here on her back, as well as I'm using the, again, this is for the sake of, because I have the blue speed on it, and because of that I'm using it. Other than that, you can just use another Spring Swift Rush, or you can also use another Strive here as well. Just for the sake of getting full on Strive, I'm not using full on Strive just because I have the speed ones on here, so because of that I'm using not full Strive. On Claws, again, this is a simple clause as well. Just effect accuracy, doesn't like go too crazy. If you can make it much more, I do recommend it doing that, because I was farming with other units, so because of that I had to only go for a small amount of effect accuracy, just so she applies all of her best buffs for sure. That's why you want to have it. In terms of what type of shells you can do for these two, is going to be the Codex of Magic. Obviously works well with Claws, so she can debuff 2 times in a row. Kaz doesn't need that. You can obviously run without that, but if you have the Codex of Magic on her, that'll also be fine, just so she can do 2 debuffs in a row, also not the worst, as well as 2 sleeps in a row, while you're going to be getting to your transformation on the Tiamat. That's also fine. But again, do remember that Tiamat does transform very quickly, so because of that, you don't really need to have Codex on her. You can only use 1 stun, and I think she should be pretty close to getting her transformation if you do use it at least once. The Lily, I'm using Artisan on her. I do recommend using at least 2 Artisans on your team if you can go for 3 Artisans, because again, Artisans do really buff your defense, especially with them having they basically, once they do the damage, they reduce your max HP to some bit, and because of that, Linglow kinda, in the longer the game goes, the worse the Linglow gets, because the less HP you have, the less you can restore, and because that's Linglow is a little bit lacking in terms of the longer it goes, and with Tiamat is a little bit bad. But you do need to have Linglow with Tiamat or some kind of support. Maybe the new Finqua, or whatever her name is, the new support that you can get, also works, because she gives shields, as well as she does give a little bit of HP healing, as well as Tiamat herself has the healing over time, so because of that, that could have a good synergies between them. Again, everything works on Lily being the fastest one. Nothing crazy. I just use whatever I have for the sake of speed to make her as fast as possible. I don't have any investments into second or third skill, only on the first one. Linglow is fully uninvested, doesn't even have the first one single damage that she has any investments into that. But if you have try to do it, because again, duration up, increase the chance of purifying or applying the whale for 75 is definitely good enough, as well as just healing effect for 15% is much more better. So do try to invest in this one if you're going to be using Linglo in here. Other than that, this is pretty simple. I'm not using any unbreakable in it. This is I'm only using the full Brumble, just for the sake of she sometimes attacks with her single and does heal a little bit. Also having a little bit of accuracy, just for the sake of, again, applying that that whale, as well as having the purification a little bit better. So because of that, I do put a little bit of effect accuracy on her. Other than that, this is just simple, nothing, no speed stuff on her or anything like that. But if you can put speed on her as well, that would be also really nice. So for the most part, you only need speed on them, and Tiamat here is gonna like poke little by little. Again, it have a little bit of a problem with finishing up in terms of what different type of shelves that you can use on Tiamat as well. Only Ember is not the only one that you can use. The survivor for what is his name? I forgot. The puffy guy is also good. The Lighthouse, because again of the healing effect as well as turn meter. So you can use him in there. Also you can use Jackal. Also Jackal works. As well, I had the pretty good stats on Jackal as well, for example, for the crit damage buff, as well as some HP buff. So because of that, Jackal is really good as well, and either way he does some damage as well as the speed buff for sure as well. So you can use this one on him, or just simply even Artisan is also really good, because again he gives the shields to her, and because of that she doesn't get the damage onto her HP, and because she scales of HP, that's very important for her to save as much HP as possible. And because of that, be careful with that. Again, HP, full HP on her right side. HP bonus, doesn't matter. Something with HP would be nice. So try to put anything that you have with HP. If you can, get whatever your hands get onto, basically. This is also very important to have this maxed out, because this is also HP all the time. Because of that, try to use it here. This doesn't matter, but if you can get a few HP bonus stats here, that would be really nice. Also bonus stats of HP here would be really nice as well. Overall, like, you can do different stuff, but the most important to have is having as much HP as possible. Again, she scales off HP fully. But this is basically the strategy that I've used to make Tiamat finish the Inferno. Again, if you don't see, this is the Inferno. I did finish it, and I do farm it a little bit with the Tiamat there, but it does require some time, and overally it would be much better if you just use Rosa or like anyone else, because Rosa does clear this much faster. Again, with Rebellion, it's much better than Tiamat. But again, she does work, so if you're a big Tiamat enthusiast like me, for example, so you can do this type of stuff and try to finish up the content with her here. Other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, as well as tell me what do you think, what your team, what are you using for your team. Again, I know that this is not really free-to-play friendly, but I guess this depends on how much of luck do you have, if you have those characters or not. Hopefully you liked the video. Don't forget to like, again, subscribe, leave a comment. Also, I stream every day, so if you want to tune in for the streams, you can join in on the Discord. I have the notifications beforehand for the streams. We play PvP there, we do farm here there as well. So if you don't want to miss, you can join in on the Discord there. As well as you can become a member if you want to support the content. So be sure to do that. Other than that, hopefully you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.